So taking a deep breath in, big sigh out. Let the breath move down into your body so you actually can feel if there's places that are tight. Give those places a little bit more breath and maybe a little movement. Big sighs of release and relief, and stretch out the jaws. Stick out the tongue. Move the lips around like you're trying to reach your hairline with your lips in a circle. And then reverse in the other direction. Rub your hands together, warming up your hands, lighting your fire, starting your engine. And then put your hands on your face and open your eyes and let the warmth of your hands move down into your face and into your skull. Wipe away your brow so that you're just kind of clearing any thoughts or worries or concerns or distractions. Hold your hands on your cheeks and just notice that you have your hands on your cheeks, and give yourself some love. Press your two peace fingers into your right in front of and behind your ears. So you're rubbing up and down in front of and behind the ears, along the jawline. And massaging the ears. Our ears and our hands and our feet all have reflexology points on them. So when you massage your ears and your hands and your feet, you're actually affecting the whole body. Then press the fingers into the scalp and move the scalp around on top of the skull. Continuing to take deep breaths in and big sighs out, relaxing and releasing. You can really scrub as you massage your head, or you can move the skin around on top of the head. You can scratch, whatever feels right and good to you throughout the practice. Please do that. And rub down on the occipits, the kind of bumps in the bottom of the back of your head. And then massage the back of the neck. You can either take your hand and pull the big muscles on either side of your spine back, or you can just massage with both hands on either side of your neck. Really enjoy that. Let the hands move down to the top of the shoulders and massage the shoulders. Keep loosening the jaws throughout the practice. And bring your hands just underneath of your earlobes, behind the corners of your jaws, to stimulate that cluster of lymph nodes that's right there. If those are tender, be really gentle. That means they're working. We can stimulate our immune system by activating the lymph nodes. And caress on either side of your throat, massaging those big muscles that hold your head up all day long. And rub along the top of your clavicle, cross-fibering the muscles that dive down under the clavicle. And then gently stimulate the cluster of lymph nodes at the bottom of your throat, right at that hollow between the clavicles. Scrub or tap or pound your chest. You can make some sound if you like. Just kind of stimulating tons of lymph and endocrine system and heart and lungs and thymus and pituitary, all kinds of things that you can stimulate by rubbing your chest. And again, under your armpits, where there's huge clusters of lymph nodes under both arms. And then soften one ear towards the shoulder and look up at the ceiling. So keeping your face straight forward, just let your ear soften down towards the shoulder and bring your gaze as high up to the sky as you can. Relax the head, neck, jaws, shoulders, arms, hands, we're helping to open up the passageway that the vagus nerve moves down through. Your vagus nerve is the wandering nerve. It innervates the rest of the body, and it comes, from the amygdala. So if it's crimped or squeezed, it can put you in fight, flight, or freeze. Bring the head back to center. Just notice how that feels. And soften the other ear towards the other shoulder and gaze up at the ceiling. So we're allowing the vagus nerve a little bit more freedom, and that can help with anxiety or tension. You just hold your head to the side for 60 seconds, gazing up at the ceiling, relaxing everything else, allowing sighs or yawns or swallows that are kind of indicators that the passageway for the vagus nerve is opening up. And then gently bring your head back to center and just feel how that feels. You might feel an opening, a softening, a quieting, a centering, whatever that feels for you. Notice that that's a 2-minute exercise that can help to really calm the system down. We're going to come to our feet and wiggle our fingers and our toes. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, elbows and knees. We're moving every joint in the body. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, elbows and knees, shoulders and hips, because in every joint in the body is synovial fluid. When we move the joints, we release synovial fluid to lubricate and protect the joints. So just let your body have a little synovial fluid dance. So engage the joints of the spine, letting the body move however it wants to move in fluid, sort of spirally soft ways that get out of your brain and let your body just have a moment of movement. Free movement to self-adjust and relax and release and breathe into this incredible vehicle that we have. And then let your head have a little jiggle. So you're just gently shaking the head, letting any kind of tension disappear, clearing the cobwebs, letting the jaws and the tongue soften. And let that jiggle move down to the shoulders, the chest and the upper back. And just imagine you're opening up channels down the arms and out the fingers. We have meridians that are there to release tension out of the body. We just want to wake them up and remind the body that we have these pathways for release. Allow that jiggle to move down into the torso and all of your organs, giving a little vibration, a little shake, a little wake up, a little, activation and honoring of all your organs by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, liver and spleen and gallbladder and all the different organs. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Let that move down into the hips. Give the hips a little shake. You might add some sound if you want. And then into the thighs, shaking the thighs, waking everything up. And down the legs, out the toes, inviting the body, all the animals shake out, tension and tightness and experiences. So just give yourself permission to do a little shake. It can be a shimmer, it can be a shiver, it can be an all-out shake. So Whatever feels good to you, give yourself permission to shake it out. And then take a deep breath in, inhale in health and happiness and let that pour through your system. Exhale anything that interferes with that. Inhale love and light. Exhale anything that interferes with that. And inhale peace and passion and purpose. And let go of anything that interferes with that. Come to a seat with enough support under your hips to allow your spine to float effortlessly up. So it's very helpful to have a block or pillow or a stack of blankets so that when you sit up, you're not pulling forward and backwards. Your spine can just rest upright. Invite your body, your mind, and your spirit to arrive here and now in this moment on your mat, on the earth, and drop the weight of your body down to be held and supported by the earth. Root your sits bones down into the earth and drink that nourishing, nurturing earth energy up your spine. Unfurl your spine, roll the shoulders back and down to hug the spine behind and open the heart. And keeping a strong, stable seat with an upright spine, let your head roll around on top of your shoulders, releasing even more out of your head, jaws, neck, shoulders, back, whatever it is you can let go of. And then balance the head on the top of the spine and lift the crown up and open. So opening up to heaven, to mystery, to wonder, to whatever it is that you call on for inspiration, and let that pour down through your central channel. As you root your sits bones down and lift your crown up, you're creating space in the torso for all of your organs, your heart and your lungs. And without changing a thing, just observe your natural breathing. Breathing keeps us alive. Our inhale, we're breathing in oxygen and energy, and our exhale is detoxifying and releasing anything that doesn't serve the cells as we breathe in and out. And just appreciate your breath for a moment. And then let your breath deepen and widen, and count how many counts does it take to fully inhale deeply. And as you exhale, count the same number. So your inhale and your exhale are even. You can use Ujjayi breath, which is breathing in and out through the nose and hearing the sound of the breath on the back of the throat. You can continue even breathing, or you can shift into breath of fire. Or what we're doing is we're breathing in and out through the nose again, but really focusing on the diaphragm. So your inhale expands the diaphragm, your exhale contracts the diaphragm, your chest is still, and you're really breathing with the diaphragm strongly in and out through your nose. We'll do 3 rounds of 30 breaths each with a breath in between, in and out. So take a breath in. And breath in and out. And in for round 2. Breath in and out, and in for round 3. And just return to natural breathing and feel how pranayama feels in your body. Extend your arms out to the sides. Inhale the hands overhead. Palms touch and bring your hands to your heart. Set an intention for yourself. It might be to be gentle and compassionate with yourself. It might be to remember to breathe. It could be an intention you have for your life. Whatever that would serve you best in this moment. And may our practice in some way relieve suffering for others. And we'll seal all of our intentions with 3 ohms. Breath in. And feel the resonance in your body. Release the hands down, and you can stay on your prop or you can remove it. You're gonna either stay on a chair, on your prop, or you can be on your knees. We're gonna roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, and draw the rib cage forwards on the inhale. And then exhale, press the mid back as far back as you can, exhaling completely. So breathing in and out through the nose. Finding a pace that feels good to you, where you can keep focusing on, pressing the back back and exhaling completely. And then on the inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, and draw the rib cage forward. You can use Ujjayi breath throughout the whole practice if you like. It helps you focus on the breath, and it adds pranayama, or breath work. And then we'll do the same thing in a circle. So roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, draw the rib cage forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, reach as far to the side as you can, exhaling completely back, and then inhaling forward again. Notice which direction you're circling in and reverse direction. And come to stillness in the center and just notice how that all feels. I'm going to roll over onto our hands and our knees for cow-cat. Bringing the wrists just below the shoulders, knees just below the hips. Inhale the head and the tail up and press the hands into the mat, drawing the chest forward. Exhale the head and the tail down, press the mid-back high to the sky and look at the belly button. You can continue like this in your cow-cat, or if you want, you can lift one leg up and bring the knee to the nose as you exhale, and continue with the same leg for a few more times. If you're using your leg, we'll switch legs. And bring the knees and the hands back to the mat, tuck the toes under and lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, lift the hips high, and then let your spine hang from your hips and let your head dangle from your spine. Softening the back of the legs, the calves, the hamstrings by softening the heels towards the floor and pedaling the feet. Continue breathing. On your exhale, step to the front of the mat and inhale, half lift. You want to roll your shoulders back, lift your heart up. Fingers can touch the mat or on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head hang from the spine. Let the spine hang from the hips. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. And ring the head like a bell side to side, just letting the back sheath of the body soften. Inhale, roll the spine up as you extend the arms out to the sides and overhead into a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands and step back for either downward facing dog or plank, or your chaturanga, which can be dropping the knees and the chest down, rolling the shoulders up into up dog, or you can lower the whole body down to the floor and roll the shoulders back and lift the heart up, or you can bring the torso to the elbows and roll the shoulders back down, lifting the heart. Inhale into up dog, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Again, lift the hips high so that you're really allowing the spine to drop down. The chest is dropping down towards the floor and the head is just dangling loosely. You can step forward in, or you can float forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms out to the sides and overhead into a little back bend. Open the arms wide. Roll the shoulders back and down and soften the hips down. So just bend the knees a little bit. You want to keep your torso upright as you drop the hips down like you're looking for your chair. This is chair pose. So try to relax the neck. Keep using the breath to soften and release any resistance. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And step or float back for either downward facing dog, plank, or your form of chaturanga. And exhale back up into downward facing dog and pedal the feet. Gonna inhale the right leg high to the sky, reach the toes as high as you can. Lift the whole torso up as you bring the knee to the nose and step the right foot forward for warrior one. Plant the left foot down in a way that your hips can be parallel with the front of the mat. Softening the hips down, feeling a stable, grounded connection to the earth. Lift the arms up, roll the shoulders back to open the heart. And breathe. We're going to open up into warrior two by bringing the back foot parallel with the back of the mat. The right knee is pulling back towards your right pinky toe. So your knee is not caving forward, it's pulling backwards. Soften the hips down wherever that's comfortable for you. Arms are parallel with the floor, and only the gaze is looking over your right middle finger. Flip your right palm up and take a breath in. Lift your right hand, drop your left hand to reverse your warrior. Exhale. Inhale up. Bring your middle of your forearm to the middle of your thigh and extend the left arm straight up or in a straight line from your heels to your fingertips. Your rib cage is spinning up to look up at the ceiling. And breathe. On your exhale, straighten both legs and both arms. Take a breath in. Keeping your legs straight, reach your right fingers as far forward as you can without bending the spine. Just extend the spine long as far as you can, reaching right over the right thigh, and drop the right hand down wherever it lands. Stack the left hand up. Spin the rib cage to look up at the left thumb. And breathe here. You want both legs to be straight, but the knees are not locked. exhale, or inhale, sorry, lift up. Point your toes towards each other and your heels away. Bring your hands onto your lower back. Take a breath in. Exhale into a little back bend. Inhale up. Bring your two peace fingers, your first two fingers, and wrap them around your big toes as you fold forward, and then take your thumbs and cap the top of your big toes with your thumbs. Inhale the spine up into half lift. Press the heels into the floor so that you feel that go all the way up to your sits bones, and then fold at the hips, letting your spine hang from your hips and your head hang from your spine. Elbows are out to the sides, and breathe. Release your hands and walk your hands to the front of the mat, stepping back for either downward facing dog or plank or your form of chaturanga. We'll inhale the left leg high to the sky, reach it as high as you can. Bring the knee to the nose and lift the whole torso up to float that left foot forward and plant the back right foot down in a way that your hips are parallel with the front of the mat. So your right hip is forward, left hip is back. Soften the hips down and inhale the arms up. Roll the shoulders back and down to hug the spine and relax the neck. On your exhale, open up into Warrior Two by moving the back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Shoulders are directly over the hips. The left knee's pulling back so that you're softening the hips down. Arms are parallel with the floor and the gaze is over the left middle finger. Breathe here. Flip your left palm up, take a breath in. Lift the left hand, drop the right hand to reverse your warrior. Exhale back. Inhale up and bring the middle of your left forearm down to the middle of your left thigh. Extend the right arm up, either straight up or in a straight line from your heels to your fingertips. Again, draw the rib cage so that you're looking up at the ceiling, and breathe. Inhale up. straighten both legs, straighten both arms, take a breath in. Reach the left fingers and the whole spine straight over the left leg. Arms and legs stay straight. Drop the left hand down and stack the right up, looking up at the right thumb. Breathe. Inhale up. Draw the toes towards each other, the heels away. Bring your hands onto your lower back and take a breath in. Exhale into a little back bend. And then roll the shoulders back and down and bring the hands to clasp the hands behind the back. Open the chest up by rolling the shoulders back even more and take a breath in. Press the heels into the floor as you fold at the hips and let your hands rest on your back as you let the spine hang from the hips and let the head hang from the spine. Again, keep pressing the heels into the floor. You feel like go all the way up the backs of your legs. If you can keep your palms together and it's comfortable, you can draw your hands away from your back and breathe. Release the hands and walk the hands back to the front of the mat, stepping back for either down dog, plank, or your form of chaturanga. Gonna inhale the right leg high to the sky. Bring the knee to the nose, lift the whole torso up and float that right foot forward into a lunge. Your knee is directly over your ankle. Your left leg is straight and strong with the heel pulling back towards the back of the room. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your heart up and soften the hips down as you breathe. We're going to leave the legs right where they are and inhale the torso and the arms up and breathe here. Bring the hands to the heart. And bring the left elbow over the right knee, tucking it over into prayer to the side. Breathe here.
Release the hands down on either side of your right foot and soften your left knee down to the mat. Draw the hips forward, roll the shoulders back and lift the heart up. You can stay here, or if you can keep your hips dropping down and forward, you can lift your arms up. And lower the hands down to the mat and step back for either downward facing dog, plank, or chaturanga. Always listening to what's right and good for your body, modifying in any way that you need to. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Bring the knee to the nose and lift the whole torso up to float that left foot forward into lunge. Bring the ankle directly under the knee. Soften the hips down and pull that right leg straight and strong with the heel back towards the back of the room. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart up and breathe. Leaving your hips and your legs where they are, inhale the torso up and breathe here. Bring the hands to the heart and tuck the right elbow over the left knee. You're in prayer to the side. Your torso's twisting towards your hands in prayer position. The left, the hips are dropping down, but the right leg stays straight and strong. Release the hands down on either side of the left foot and soften your right knee down to the floor. Hips draw forward and down as you roll the shoulders back to hug the spine and lift the heart up. You can stay here, or if you can leave your hips down and forward, you can draw your arms overhead. Bring the hands back to the mat, stepping back into downward facing dog, or plank, or chaturanga. We'll come into plank. So you can bring your knees down to the mat and line up your hips, your knees and your shoulders. Or you can bring your shoulders, hips, and ankles align. Pull the belly in so that you're engaging core strength here. And breathe. We're going to do side plank, which is you can either stack your right foot on top of your left, or you can bring your left knee down and straighten your right foot, or you can bring your right foot down and straighten your left leg. We'll come back into plank. Again, lining up either the knees on the floor, knees, hips, and shoulders in a line, holding. Really draw the belly tightly back to the spine, or you can have your heels, hips, and shoulders aligned. Again, engaging core by pulling the belly towards the spine. And we'll do side plank, so you can either stack one foot on top of the other, or you can bring your right knee down and extend the left leg out, or you can bring the left foot in front and keep the right leg straight. So whatever works for you. And we'll come back down to our seats. Drawing the heels right to the hips. And slowly, slowly lowering down by engaging core strength and lowering one vertebra at a time down onto the floor. And draw your heels to your hips. Fingertips grace the backs of your heels. Take a breath in. Press the heels into the floor and lift the hips high. Shimmy your shoulders underneath to draw the shoulder blades towards the spine. Palms face up. Press the heels into the floor, lift the hips high, and breathe. Soften your belly and soften your buns. On the exhale, lift up a little higher and roll the spine down to the lower back meets the mat. Draw your knees to lean against each other and your heels away so that you can relax completely with your palms facing up. And draw the heels back to the hips. Fingertips grace the backs of the heels. Take a breath in. Press the heels into the floor. Shimmy the shoulders together to hug the spine. And draw the palms together. Clasp the hands behind the back. And draw the clasped hands down towards the floor as you press the heels into the floor and lift the hips high. And breathe. On your exhale, lift up a little higher, release the hands, and roll the vertebra, the spine, one vertebra at a time down to the lower back, meets the mat, knees touch, heels part, and palms face up to relax completely. We'll set up for one more bridge. If it's in your practice to do full wheel, you're welcome to do that. If you have a prop handy, you can use that for a supported bridge, or you can use your hands. So bring the heels to the hips, take a breath in, press the heels into the floor, lift the hips high, and either bring a prop to support under your hips and allow yourself to have a supported bridge that way, or you can bring your hands underneath of your hips and support your bridge with your hands. Soften your belly, soften your buns. Just let your body relax into being supported in a bridge. And breathe in healing light and energy into every cell in your body. And as you exhale, just remember and encourage that detoxification that happens naturally with every exhale. Letting go of tension, tightness, toxins. Consciously magnifying that process that's happening all the time with every breath. On your exhale, lift up a little higher, remove your prop or your hands and roll the spine down to the lower back meets the mat. Draw the soles of the feet together and soften the knees open to either side. Bring one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly to relax completely. Bring your attention to your hips and invite your hips to relax. Bring your attention to your thighs. Invite your thighs to release and relax and let go. And bring your attention to your groin. And just soften and relax and release any tension in the hip girdle. Bring your hands in between your knees for happy baby. You can hold on to the knees, the shins, the ankles, or the outsides of the feet. Your baby can be still with the feet facing the ceiling, or you can allow your baby just to move around and sort of explore your body at this moment. See if you can discover something new and delightful as if you were a bouncy boned baby. And then contemplate what kind of an inversion would serve you best. You can do legs up the wall, which is basically moving so that your hips are right up against a wall and you can rest your ankles or your heels up against the wall. You can bring a block under your hips or any kind of prop and float your legs up. And this is Viparita Karani. If it's in your practice to do a shoulder stand, a headstand, a handstand, forearm stand, and you have the space and your body would like that, you're welcome to do whatever inversion serves you best at this time. If you're in headstand, handstand, forearm stand, come down into child's pose. If you're in shoulder stand, draw your feet over your head into plow. If you're in Viparita Karani, bring your feet down to the floor. Lift your hips up and remove the prop. And we'll all meet on our backs, drawing our knees up to our chests and rocking side to side. You can massage the big muscles on either side of your spine, just with the weight of your body. And tuck your knees tight up to your chest, roll to the left, rest your left hand on your right knee and extend the right arm out to the right. Try to soften your shoulder down onto the floor. If your arm is hanging up, just bring a prop under your arm to support your arm. Your gaze is to the right thumb. And soften every muscle in the body. So this is the final poses of the practice. We're wringing out the practice. We're really letting everything go. So relax every muscle in the body and let the breath wring out the practice. So take a deep breath in of healing, light, and energy and wash it down the arms, out the fingers, down the legs, out the toes, just letting go of anything that might have gotten stirred up in the practice. And draw the knees back to center. Extend your arms and your legs along the floor for a full body stretch. Take a deep breath in. And stretch one side of the body and the other. Draw the knees up to the chest and rock side to side. Again, massaging the muscles along the back. Whatever feels good to you. And tuck the knees tight up to the chest and roll to the right. Rest your right hand on your left knee and extend the left arm out to the left. Melt your shoulder blades down onto the floor. Prop your arm. If it's hanging up in the air, just bring a prop under your arm. Gaze towards the left thumb. And again, just relax every muscle in the body. Let go of the shoulders and the hips and the back, arms and the legs, and let the breath sort of clear out the practice. Breathing in and releasing out. Draw the knees back to center. Extend the arms and the legs along the floor for a full body stretch. Take a deep breath in and stretch fingers to toes, engaging every muscle in the body with the stretch. So stretching your belly and your buns and your knees and your nose, stretching, stretching, stretching. And then on your exhale, opening up to your Shavasana. So bringing the elbows and the heels at least the width of the mat apart. Shut your eyes, part your lips and your teeth, and relax your tongue. Let go of your jaws and melt your spine down onto the floor. Soften your chest and your belly. Relax your hips and let go of your arms and your legs and your fingers and your toes. Completely surrendering to Shavasana. There's nothing to do. Just let go. Take a breath in and a breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and gently turn your head from side to side. And roll over onto your side, giving yourself a hug. Appreciating all that it takes to make the space and the time to gift your body, mind, and spirit with this practice. Gently press up to a seated position with enough support under your hips to allow your spine to float effortlessly up. And drop the weight of your body down to be held and supported by the earth as you lift your crown up and open to heaven. Gift yourself with just a very brief moment of stillness, enjoying the spaciousness of our practice. We'll extend the arms out to the sides and inhale the hands overhead. Palms touch and bring the hands to the heart. We'll chant Om Shanti Shanti Om, which means peace. Take a breath in. Om Shanti 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 Om. May we be filled with peace so that all of our thoughts are peaceful, all of our words are peaceful, all of our actions are peaceful, and all of our interactions are peaceful, so that we can be a peaceful ripple that moves out into the world around us, bringing peace. Take your heart in your hands and bring your hands to your third eye, where we acknowledge the divine light of love in ourselves and in each other with Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.